All right, welcome to Yin Yoga for runners and anybody else that has tight hips and tight legs. So you are going to need a strap today and a block or two. So if you've got them, have them handy. Let's go ahead and prep our strap. So to prep the strap, we want to make a small hole so it will fit around our foot. We're going to be in Sphinx pose. We're going to be pulling on our foot for our quad stretch. So a strap comes in really handy there. So you've got your rings on one end, you got the end of your strap here. Make sure there's no kinks in your strap, and then bring the end through both of your rings. You're going to pull it through, and so you have a nice size circle here just to fit the top of your foot. And then you're going to take the end of your strap, you're going to put it in between the two rings, and then you're going to pull it through. So after you pull it through, grab both of the rings and you can kind of tug on it and get it nice and tight. So you can see I have a nice little loop-de-loop here for my foot. So you can set that to the side. We're going to start in half caterpillar pose, which is a seated forward fold. So in Yin Yoga, they have some different names for poses that we use in Vinyasa Yoga. So I want you to stretch the right leg out in front of you, bring the left heel towards your inner thigh. Your hips are square with the top of the mat. Go ahead and flex that right foot. We're going to inhale and lengthen through the spine. And then on the exhale, I want you to fold over that right leg. So when you fold over, I don't want you reaching to go into the deepest stretch possible. I want you to fold over, find your edge, find that number 5 or 6 on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as depth of stretch. And then I want you to hold the pose. So once you're in this pose, I want you to allow the chin to sink down towards your chest. Let your head get heavy. You can round through the spine. And you're just going to let gravity do the work here. Instead of trying to pull on the leg and do this tug of war, you're just going to relax into the pose. And you don't have to flex that foot so strong. You can just gently flex the foot. And you can hang out right here, or you can create a little support for your head by bringing some blocks into play. So for me, it takes quite a few blocks to get support for my forehead. So if some people are really flexible, they're able to rest their forehead on one block. If I do the block method, I have to do the 2 blocks. So if you rest your forehead on a block, let your arms get heavy. Let your upper back and neck get heavy. I'm going to do this without the blocks. It works just as well. So I'm just going to let my chin fall towards my chest, let my head and my upper back get heavy. I'm going to find my edge, and then I'm going to hold the pose. So just remember, we're stretching the connective tissue in the joints. We haven't warmed up our muscles, so we're not stretching the muscles. So you're going to feel that pull along your joints, along the connective tissue. Whereas if we had warmed up the body, we would just be stretching our muscles. So as you breathe in and out through the nose, maybe investigate what the points are like at your joints. Notice any sensations or feelings that you're experiencing in your body. I want you to start working your way out of the pose by pressing your hands down into the mat and just gently push up on your upper body, and then slowly walk your feet back as you gently lengthen through the spine. Go ahead and roll the shoulders back. Stretch the left leg out in front of you this time. Bring the right heel in towards your inner thigh. And we'll set up for half caterpillar on the other side. So stretch that left leg out, flex your foot. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold over that left leg. And then release the stretch in that left leg. Just a nice little gentle flex here. And then I want you to find your edge. Find the place that feels so good, but you're not in pain. And I want you to let your chin fall down towards your chest. Let that upper body get heavy. You can round through the spine. Yin yoga is different than when we're doing vinyasa yoga, where we always keep our spine nice and straight. We want that upper body to roll over and get heavy. And then once again, you have the option to pull in your blocks and rest your forehead on your blocks. It's a nice supportive pose for your head. So find your spot and then hold. Notice if you're tensing through your shoulders. Can you allow the arms and the shoulders to relax and to get heavy? Soften through your face. Just focus on your breath and allow your body to just melt down towards the earth. And then to come out of the pose, press your hands into the mat and then slowly start to walk your hands back towards your body as you lengthen through the spine. If you've used your blocks, go ahead and set them to the side. You can stretch that right leg out in front of you, bring your legs out to the side, and then go ahead and come down to your belly. Have your strap up by your hands, because we will move into the quad stretch after we do Sphinx. So to come into Sphinx, elbows are under your shoulders. You're going to press the forearms down into the mat, press the palms into the mat, relax to the hips. The tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. And then just gaze straight ahead. And you can think about pushing your heart out, like your chest is moving forward as you lengthen through the spine. See if you can lengthen through your neck. And just breathe in and out through the nose. Stay with your breath. We've got one more minute here. If it gets to be too intense between your shoulders, you can always move your elbows out a little bit closer to the top of the mat. And then on your next exhale, I want you to bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. Stack your hands and just rest your forehead on your hands for a moment. And then we'll move into the quad stretch by bringing our strap into our left hand. And then we're going to take our right hand and we're going to take the forearm, making it parallel to the top of the mat. So we're going to press into that right forearm. We're going to bend the left knee. And you can grab onto the left foot for the quad stretch, or you can take the loop on your strap, wrap it around the top of your foot, and then pull the strap with your hand. So then you can place your elbow onto the mat and then find your edge. If you need to go a little deeper, you can bring in both hands to find that sweet spot. And then press into that right forearm so you're not sinking into your right shoulder. So find your edge, find your number 5 or your number 6, and then be still and hold the pose. Now to come out of this pose, if you have your strap, just gently release the strap, releasing it from the ball of your foot. Bring your strap over to the right side. We're going to move our left forearm so it's parallel to the top of the mat. And you can gaze over your shoulder, right shoulder, bend that right knee. And you're going to take your strap, you'll wrap it around the top of your foot if you'd like to, or you can reach that right hand back, grab the top of the right foot, find your edge, and then be still and hold the pose. You can allow your chin to fall down towards your chest, no tension in your neck. If you want, you can bring your forehead clear down to your forearm. And then you can gently release that right foot to slowly come out of this pose. Stack your hands, rest your forehead on your hands for a moment, and just gently move your hips to the left and the right, noticing any subtle changes in the body. Then bring your hands down by your ribs. We're going to push up and back. We're going to bring our feet out to the sides and then come back to a seated position. So we're going to come into full caterpillar now. So you might want to have a block handy here. Feet hip width apart. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold over those legs. But once again, we don't want to grab onto our feet. We're not doing a pulling and tugging. We want to find our 5 or 6 on the scale of 1 to 10 as far as our stretch. So once you find your stretch, maybe you want to take a block or 2 and then rest your forehead on the block. And then let that upper body just get heavy as it falls over your legs. Letting the chin fall in towards your chest. Let the spine round. And once again, you don't have to rest your head on blocks. You can just let your head hang nice and heavy. And then with every exhale, let the body just melt into the mat. Let yourself let go of the holding together. Just release. We're going to slowly start to walk ourselves out of this pose by pressing our hands into the mat, and then walk the hands back as your spine slowly clicks back into place. And then set your block or blocks to the side. We're going to come into our final pose, Savasana. Go ahead and come all the way down to your back. We're going to take these 2 minutes to just allow our body to acclimate to the stretches we just gave it. So allow the feet to fall out to the sides, the palms to face up to the sky. Soften your face and just relax. Go ahead and begin to move your wrists and your ankles, waking your body back up as you bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, and then rock up to a seated position, coming into easy pose. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to notice how you feel. And then let's close with a nice deep inhale and exhale. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale it out. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.